Hi, I'm David. I'm Swoop Patagonia's Product and Partnerships Manager. And on your adventure to Patagonia, it's easy to overlook some of the smaller details that may affect you whilst you're traveling. So let me give you a little bit of guidance on what life is like in Patagonia. So staying healthy on your travels in Patagonia is of paramount importance. Firstly, let me say that both Chile and Argentina are very clean countries. They have good sewage systems, good water treatment plants, and technically the water is potable throughout the countries. However, it's always a good idea, especially if you have more sensitive stomachs, to drink bottled water or to disinfect the water that you're going to be drinking. Most of the trails that you'll be hiking in Patagonia will be crisscrossed with beautiful virgin streams with drinking water. Most trekkers will just fill their water bottles from the streams that flow down from the mountains. Hospitals and clinics in both Chile and Argentina are generally very good, with a good level of professionals. If you require health assistance whilst traveling, it's always a good idea first to contact your insurance company and then to go to the private clinics that are found throughout Patagonia and in the rest of the country. When considering food allergies whilst traveling in Patagonia, please speak with your customer service coordinator. He or she will be able to provide you specific guidance and provide a heads up to our partners on the ground so that we can be as prepared as possible to provide you with the meals that you can eat. You may be wondering what vaccinations are required for travel to Patagonia. At present, there are no obligatory vaccinations required for entry into Patagonia, but this is a situation that may change, so please check with your government guidelines for travel to these countries and with your medical health professional back home before traveling to Patagonia. With respect to chargers and adapters and electricity in Chile and Argentina, so both countries have 220 volts, but the plugs can change slightly from one country to another. So in Argentina, the new style plugs of the last few years, as you can see here, are these two flat prongs that are angled slightly towards each other. The older plugs in Argentina, some of which you will still find on your travels in Patagonia, and the newer plugs throughout Chile, which are standard, as you can see, are the two round prongs that are of the European style of plug. Our advice would be to carry a multi-adapter so that you can use any of the plugs that you might encounter on your travels in Patagonia. A lot of the regions of Patagonia are covered by telephone companies with cell phone coverage, but luckily not all of Patagonia has this cell phone coverage. Most cafes and restaurants will have Wi-Fi to a varying degree of connectivity. Even some of the more remote ranches in Patagonia are now getting Wi-Fi connection, although please don't expect this to be of very good quality or very fast. The fjords and wilderness hiking in Patagonia is pretty much off-grid, so you would expect a lot of these places not to have phone coverage or Wi-Fi. It's quite easy in Chile and Argentina in drugstores to buy a SIM card, and that will give you coverage for most of the regions that you would be traveling throughout Patagonia. On a practical note, talking about laundry, most hotels in Patagonia will do your laundry for you at a slightly more elevated cost than some of the local laundrettes that you can find in most small towns and villages throughout Patagonia. These local laundrettes are a good way to get your washing done, somebody will do it for you, and the services are generally very quick and economic. If you're hiring a car in Patagonia, this is going to be a truly memorable experience. Be aware that the roads in Patagonia are not always of great quality. Some of them are just dirt tracks and a 4x4 may be required. The roads are certainly remote. They will get you to the wildest parts of Patagonia, to some of the most spectacular parts of this region. Petrol stations are not that common in some of the most remote parts of Patagonia. So you will need to plan ahead, make sure you fill up your tank and are prepared for any possible incidents like changing a spare tyre that might occur whilst you're travelling. As for driving licenses, if you have a Roman script driving licence, this would be accepted in both Chile and Argentina as a tourist hiring a vehicle. But if your driving licence does not display Roman script, you may well need to get an international driving license to validate your credentials for renting a car in Chile or Argentina. We hope this guidance for traveling in Patagonia is helpful, and we really hope that you have the best experience you could possibly have in this wonderful region. If you have any more specific questions, please reach out to your customer experience coordinator, who will be only too pleased to give you specific guidance on any questions that you may have. Have a wonderful trip.